I thought I would try to do a report on the sidewalks in Fremont, the public sidewalks, the ones that are, access to the public, of course. But for some reason, they are seen fit to fix some, but not others. Now, this one here has had a patch of concrete put in. Probably needed it one time or another. Doesn't seem to be that old in comparison to the other concrete. But what I wanted to point out is the amount of slope this particular bridge has, this sidewalk has. So you can look down here. I'm holding this thing, level, and it's got a pretty good, decent drop on this sidewalk, which they say this is not a sidewalk, this is a ramp for how far this thing goes down. Like, this is like from here to the curb, it's got to be at least a 10-foot drop. Probably more like a 15 or maybe even 20-foot drop between here and the curb, which is less than a block away. It's not more than 528 feet away. So this bridge is a continuation of that slope. Yet they never saw fit to put little steps, like something like ADA compliant, put these steps here and here. And so what I'm going to do is I wanted to show, this is Broad Street in Fremont, Nebraska, the Broad Street Bridge. It goes over the train tracks. And there's the train tracks over there. And I just wanted to show how, for some reason, this bridge, which did have some repairs doing it not that long ago, had some repairs. This is the only side you can have a pedestrian on. The other side has no sidewalk. But this bridge doesn't have those fancy-dancy, ramp steps that they're putting in. I'm going to pause this in hopes to it'll stay, and I could go over the other one in continuation with this report. I'm going over to the Bell Street Bridge now, and the Bell Street Bridge has the same situation. I'm going to see if it has the same amount of ramp or angle here coming down this road. I'm going to see if I can turn around here. Yeah, this is almost like eye height. I might have to go just a little bit further. Let's see here. Maybe to here. So I'm 5'7", 5'8", and about here on my height here, and we're still not to the bottom of this hill. All right, so if I think I did this right, I'm still recording, and I'm taking a look at the sidewalks. There is road closed signs up. Road closed. This is road closed. This one says road closed, but there are no sidewalk is closed right here. And so I guess what I'm looking at is that we got the sidewalk that comes up like this. We're coming up on a sidewalk. This is a sidewalk. This is part of the road. Walking down. You can't walk on the other side. The other side has no sidewalk. This is the one. And so they think they've made like this thing. How do I explain it? Okay, so they think they're making ADA compliant by making these little platforms, like little stops. So if I come over here and you look down, you can see that the sidewalk is coming up. And then right there, they make a platform. But they had to raise the concrete higher than what it originally was. They had to bring it up even higher so they can make this flat spot in the sidewalk. They not only did it here, but like you go up here a little bit, and I don't know if I can just step out into the street, and you can see it here also, where, let me see if I can get this right, okay? So, where's my finger at today? There it is. Sorry about that. So this right here is where it's going up. They got it coming up higher. So they can make this flat spot here, a level flat spot here, and then goes back to the hill. They didn't get rid of the hill. They made these little flat spots. And they're claiming that these little flat spots make it ADA compliant. They did the same thing over here. Again, you can see that the concrete, that's low, that ground's lower because they had to take this and raise this up even higher on the wedge. It actually comes up just so they could have the spot equal with this spot to make this flat spot. They didn't make this lower to make this flat spot. They made this higher, which made it even harder for a wheelchair to get up. So they got to climb up here on this piece. They got to climb up here on this piece up higher to get to the flat spot. And like, is this supposed to be like a resting spot for them? Like, a guy in a wheelchair doesn't know to like turn a little bit and rest his wheel against this wall so he doesn't roll backwards if he's tired? Like, is that what this is about? So you come up here again. You come up here again, and there it is again. Here's the flat. Let me get my shadow off of it. Sorry. Here's the flat spot right here. This is low. This is the same height as this. But in order to get this, they didn't lower this down deeper. They raised this up higher. So it was coming up with a nice climb. Then they raised it more to make it towards level here. So they can have this spot to say it's ADA compliant. And they didn't just do it there, but they did it again. Like, this is like 4 or 5 times. Here's another one. You can even see it if you, I'm going to get closer, but if you look at the wall, you can see it goes up the wall. Like, that distance from there to there is a lot less than the distance from there to there. So they raised this up higher, even though this wall was naturally coming up. This wall was naturally coming up with the concrete. And what they do, they raised it up. They raised it up right here so they can make this flat spot, bring it down low again. Look at the difference, height difference. Because this is much higher than this. Just so they can make this flat spot. And they did it again up here at the end. So you come over here and I guess here it just flattens out and it just goes down and this continues to go up. And then this just flattens out and comes to here. It's flat. Then they got another hill. Now they have to go up the same hill on the walkway on the bridge. They have to do that too. I do have a barrier here. It doesn't say I can't go there. I mean, there's no, see if I can move this out so you can see the stairs. See, there's nowhere for somebody with a wheelchair to go down there. They got to go down the steps. So if you try to make this ADA compliant for wheelchairs, I'm still trying to figure out how that is. So we have a really high area right here. Really high. Heck, maybe this might even be worth doing. So, got this little stick here. The size of my foot. See how much higher that is. And we come over here where they raised it up. And you can see it's not that far from the top of that. And then we come down. We're going down the slope. We're going down the slope. You can see it's just like, a finger away from the top of that. That's all this is, same stick. And then I'm looking for where, so it's over here. So this thing was going with it. This is at the top of this concrete. This one is. This one's much higher. Much higher. So on top of that, so this thing is high also. But as you go down, you'll see it starts lowering down. But what I'm checking is, like, how much from here to that spot, the rock that you see in the screen is the far part of the slab, and then the rock is sitting over on the left, is sitting on the slab. And from there to there, They had to raise up the whole thing that much. From there to there, it was only sloping this much. There's another spot where they decided they were going to, that's lowered. That's lowered to here, way beyond my finger. This is raised. Not that far, different. Am I at the right spot? Yeah. So you can see how much lower this is and how much higher that is. And then this is high here. Then it goes back down, and now it's the normal height all the way down here, all the way till you get to the next spot where it raises up, which is right here. And I'm like, what truly was the purpose of that? The slope was already one slope all the way up, but you've made the slope harder here to get to this flat spot, and then you had to go back and then up again high and go to the flat spot and go back again and then go back high, go to the flat spot. And it's like this little, not that it's a lot. It's not a lot, don't get me wrong. I just don't see how this is creating, like, you can't explain this to me. That someone rolling up in a wheelchair has to be able to figure out that there's a resting spot here. So he's going to come up and rest right here. Like, this is a resting spot right here. This spot right here is, let me back up here. This spot right here is a resting spot for him. Or her, you know. And then what? Then they get, okay, they got to catch their breath to go the rest of the way up. And it just, 4 or 5 of these little slabs. And here's something I noticed about this one. So, we come down here. Rain has been washing dirt, whatever, down here, right? And this has all been a hill, so normally it just washes it away. But here we go. Here's a flat spot right here. And what do we see? Dirt settled on the flat spot. So somebody in a wheelchair has to negotiate whatever rock, sand, dirt, whatever puddles up here, because the water's puddling here, because the part where my wood is obviously lower than that. And the water stopped here, and that's where it all just settled up. So there's a puddle of water here, which I guess I got to come out and see if the water's running off of this or is it just puddling up. And then down here at the very bottom, it did the same thing. So you come up there, got your little grabber there to help get up this hill. Then this flattened out, and here a bunch of dirt piled up. So somebody in the wheelchair has to negotiate this. Not only that, like, let's say a blind man is walking up this sidewalk. He's found the sidewalk, and he's walking, and he starts walking through this. He could tell the difference when he's walking through this, that he's not on the sidewalk until he gets past it. So they got this thing going up, flattened, gathering dirt, flattened, gathering dirt. Then it's going to be flattened up there and flattened up there. It just, I don't see the logic in it. I don't know if I ever will. You got dirt piling up there with rain or whatever's going on, or snow or whatever. Ice, water comes down, freezes there. Puddles up here, freezes here. Now somebody's got to negotiate the ice. And this is ADA compliant? Is Fremont, Nebraska going to be sending city workers out to shovel this and make sure it's solid and everything so people can go up and down it? They probably did this to the other side too. So I'm just not seeing the cost saving. I'm sure they got money from our federal tax dollars.
Hey, sir.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
Good. What about you?
Doing good. We got a call just about kind of seeing what you're doing around here since it is under construction.
I'm doing a story. I'm Jim with Tunisia News. I'm doing a story on this ADA compliant thing they did. It sounds like a stupid idea.
Okay.
And I'm looking at like how this is, I was using as a measuring stick.
I got you.
But I was looking at this here, how this puddle right here, water puddle there, now it's dirt. So what's going to happen when it snows, freezes, right, whatever. Yep. Up there's doing the same thing. They got all these, you got to go higher to go flat. I don't see where the benefit is, and I'm doing a story on it.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Do you have an ID on you?
I'm not giving ID at this time.
Do you know?
I've not committed a crime. I'm not going to give you a name. Jim with Gymnasium News is all you need.
Jim with Gymnasium.
That's all you need.
Gymnasium News.
Gymnasium News.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. How do you spell that? J-A-M?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just her story?
Just working on a story.
Okay.
Just working on a story.
Is that gymnasium like J-A-M or is it J-Y-M?
J-I-M.
J-I-M.
Gymnasium. Like first and last name, but it is not my first and last name.
Okay.
I did make sure. I mean, the sidewalk wasn't closed. I didn't go beyond that barrier.
No. I just wanted to. No, somebody just called in saying.
Sure.
They were just concerned with what was going on.
Yeah.
If you're just doing a story, totally you're right.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Jim.
Yeah, I went over to the other bridge and did the same thing because I was like, well, the other bridge doesn't have all this Mickey Mouse going on.
Yeah.
And what is the point of, like, we wasted taxpayer dollars on this? Okay? And, like, that's what I'm talking about. This is about wasting of taxpayer dollars.
100%.
And even if it's not Fremont taxpayer dollars and it's government, it's still taxpayer dollars.
I got you. 100%.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But, nope, as long as you stay on this side of the... Signs, there's no problems.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I'm gonna tell you, I stepped on the road to get an angle shot of what's going on, but that's it. No, I'm not driving or bicycling or anything up on it.
Yeah, I don't see any signs that say no foot traffic, so I think
I
don't see any.
And I'm sure that barricade there, they don't want anybody going down the steps they built, and they want to keep people out, and I'm okay with that.
Okay. Well, already.
So when I saw that it was open, I thought this is a good time. What's your name and badge number?
Steel 25.
Steel.
Yep.
Number 25. There. Oh yeah.
25.
Your name and badge number, please.
Cody. It's 13.
Cody 13. All right, guys. Anything else I can do for you?
Nope. That's all. Thank you, Jim.
All right. No.
Appreciate it.
You have a great day.
Yep.